Now, what is the best convertible you can buy under 20,000 dirhams? But what I think, no doubt, the best choice is this BMW 3 Series convertible. But there's just one very small issue. I don't have any money. And looking in the market right now, you're expected to spend over 20,000 dirhams for this type of car with low mileage, but a very sus condition. And ain't no way I'm buying this type of cars for that amount of money, because I can't even drive them. But then suddenly I found a deal that my BMW heart couldn't resist. And I found an amazing deal. It was only costing 12,000 dirhams. I even negotiated down to 10.5, and I was about to buy it, but then I got this text from the guy. I was very sad that day, because that could have been one of the best deals I ever got. But after that, I was lucky enough to get the second opportunity that I wouldn't let to slip. And so, I got the chance to buy this BMW 3 Series. And it only costs 12,000 dirhams, which is still quite a lot considering its condition. But anyways, now I understand that I even have some profit margin if I decided to sell it and flip it. And now I may have to wash the dishes for 3 more weeks at home to actually buy this car. But before that, I want to evaluate if buying this car is even worth it. Because I might waste thousands on this car and it still wouldn't run perfectly. So the time has come to actually inspect the car the right way. And the first thing I decided to do is check if all the body panels align perfectly, which is a great indicator that this car wasn't involved in any major accident. And as you can see, all the panels align well, which is a very good sign. In the next step, I wanted to check the quality of the body. And well, you can see that this paint needs a lot of work. Also, there are a bunch of random holes back there on the trunk, and the back mirror is cracked and it needs replacement. But other than that, it looks pretty fine. Now, time for the interior, which honestly looks absolutely amazing compared to the exterior. Yeah, bits of wear and tear on the seats, but I think for a 14-year-old car, it's a pretty good condition. And now, it was time to start the engine and hear how she runs. And after hearing this awful noise, I decided to take out my OBD reader and scan for any major mistakes. And of course, as any respectable old BMW, it has issues with the coolant. So we immediately placed the car inside the garage, popped up the hood and inspected the coolant. And this is what I saw. I think this is the reason why the car sounded so bad when I started it for the first time. This yellowish color means that somewhere in the engine, oil mixes with the coolant, which is not a very great thing, because it may cause a lot of damage. Now, there are multiple possibilities for this thing happening in the first place, and the most famous one is the blown head gasket. In an internal combustion engine, a head gasket is a thin layer of metal that provides the seal between the engine block and the cylinder head. Its main purpose is to prevent the coolant or oil leaking into the cylinders and mixing together. And as you can see, our head gasket doesn't do its job properly. In the next video, we're probably gonna take apart the engine to take out the head gasket, but for now, we're gonna leave it as it is. Now, there is an issue. I forgot to film how I checked the oil level and the transmission fluid level. So what you have to do is first start the car, then press this BC button, toggle up until you see the oil on your panel, then press the BC button one time again, then wait a bit, and it's gonna calculate the oil level by itself. Now, to check the transmission fluid, I have to take this panel out, let the car run for a bit, and then see if the fluid is gonna start dripping out. If it does, that means the level is fine. And when I was filming this process, I found a very interesting thing in the interior, the killer switch. The previous owner probably wanted to make an upgrade, but he did a poor job, because it doesn't work, and it also looks kinda goofy. But other than that, everything in the car looks pretty fine in a mechanical condition. Another thing I also wanted to check were the spark plugs, but they were really hard to get to, and I do not think it's a very good idea to completely disassemble the car before I even made the deal and bought it. So after making a full inspection on the car and understanding what is wrong with it and what I need to fix, I found out that this price is actually kinda okay for this condition. So all was left is to make the deal and pay the money. This time I could get a big discount, but anyways, it still costs 12k instead of 30. It is pretty fine. Of course I'm gonna waste around 6 on all the repairs, but other than that, 10k profit is very possible. And now, in the next series, we're gonna start rebuilding it from scratch, and we're gonna find out the condition of the head gasket and what is actually causing the oil and coolant mixture. So stay tuned and subscribe if you enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye.